Bradley Beal to the Mavericks for a lot of bad money. Okay, so this is like, hey, you don't want that money, we don't want this money, and so to offset it, they're going to have to deal the 10th pick. So it's Tim Hardaway Jr., who's got 2 years, 17.8. Davis Bertans, 2 years of 17 per, and then you got JaVale McGee, 5.7. So if you're Dallas, you're obviously upgrading your roster in a pretty big way compared to those three. The 10th pick may or may not make a big impact on the Mavs next year anyways. If you're the Wizards, you get the 10th pick and you have 8 and 10, and that's the start of your rebuild. So this might be my favorite one because the Mavericks are in a really desperate position to upgrade their roster, and the Wizards are desperate to rebuild. And you break up that contract, you can probably then do something with those contracts a little bit more easily. And Davis is really comfortable in DC. He's got
So is JaVale. I mean, let's not forget this is a
Who's
homecoming
JaVale?
for
Yes.
JaVale
This
McGee.
is a
Um,
reunion. This is a
you
reunion.
you may have finally come up with a win-win.
Yeah.
I love this trade. I think we should just call this one in. You kind of hit the nail on the head. If you're the Wizards, it's a jump start on your rebuild. You get that number 10 pick. But you've got good veteran. I mean, JaVale McGee is a good locker room presence no matter what. So if you're going to have a young team, it's a great guy to have in there. Tim Hardaway Jr., hey, he still can play, still can
Yeah, he can
shoot.
play.
Just, he's not as good as Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
But you jumpstart that rebuild, and in 2 years, that money is off the books, but you're not using that money anyway because you're not signing free agents. For Dallas, it creates a lot of opportunity. Not only do you get Bradley Beal, you don't have to worry about using that number 10 pick. So it's not a development year of any sort whatsoever.
Yeah.
You can actually push your chips into the table, and Bradley Beal is better than all those guys combined and whatever that 10th pick is going to provide,
Mm-hmm.
unless something insane happens, which we can't predict. But then you get a guy that I think fits nicely with Luka Doncic. And I actually think that would work from an offensive perspective. I think defensively, you're going to have two guys you got to cover for, but if they bring back Kyrie, they've got that situation anyway.
Yeah.
But you also create some roster flexibility. You get that taxpayer mid-level exception back because, JaVale McGee won't be on the roster. So
Mm-hmm.
there's some stuff in there that I think beyond just getting Beal for Dallas that makes a lot of sense. That's
Yeah.
a great trade. I'm bad at fake trades. That's a really good one.
That's my favorite one so far.